Welcome to Featured Works of Art at the Tweed Museum of Art. My name is Bill Shipley, museum educator, and today we look at a work oil, acrylic, and pencil on paper by the Minneapolis-based artist Andrea Carlson, who has a Ojibwe Nation and Scandinavian family background. She's a 2005 graduate of Minneapolis College of Art and Design. And this is a work from 2007 called Vaster Empire, or the title is actually in the piece, We Hold a Vaster Empire Than Has Been. It's a painting with an interesting story on the spread of the empire in Britain and Canada, taking over, or empire building, you might say, lands that were already had occupants living there. So something's going on, a hidden story in her work, in all of her work, that has messages and narratives from history, mixed with work from the present tense, and in this case the two major figures are skulls. It's interesting, from an artist's perspective, her use of paper with a deckled edge. The deckled edge is the rough edge of the paper from the paper making process, and I think it adds something to the imagery in this work. It adds a rawness and a kind of a rough edge to something that's very crisp and beautifully illustrated and beautifully drawn. So there are mixed messages in Andrea's work that makes it so appealing. She uses a number of native modernist imagery, along with some of the historical imagery, even turning the painting in a way on its head by using a Pollyanna Club stamp, an antique stamp. Join the Pollyanna Club, be glad. In other words, don't look at what's really just going on, just enjoy, a blind eye, so to speak. And then a stamp, a commemorative stamp on the British Empire or Canadian Empire, superimposed or kind of bleeding into the skull. The skull's in a way talking from the dead on a history that's not often told in history books. We'll take a closer look at Andrea's technique now in just a minute. Andrea Carlson, about a year after she worked on this, wrote an essay for a 2008 exhibit by another native Ojibwe Nation artist, Frank Big Bear. Big Bear is also in our collection, and he works exclusively with colored pencil and on paper. And in some ways, Andrea's essay on Mr. Big Bear's work, there are similarities in her own work. Especially with pencil. Pencil, interestingly, by a number of Central Plains and Southern Plains Native American commentators on the war events and so on, they used pencil, a very portable, and crayon, and paper as a very portable way to document stories that were relevant to the tribe. There's a very powerful mixed a story here in a way. The painting has such an appeal just as a very rich material, but then it has this story of cruelty and almost, I interpret that band on the skull's head almost as a means of torture, although it's open to interpretation exactly what it means. The other interesting thing about it is the sense of landscape space, quite a strong landscape space with the color black and the color red, emphasizing the seriousness of this endeavor. And her comment. Land and landscape and property are essential stories in the Native American life. Thank you, and join us again for another Featured Works presentation at the Tweed Museum of Art.